Greetings, duelists, and welcome to another deck report. This is Season 7, week number 10, and we're back with the Elfnote Kewl Tune deck. Since we're very close to Blazing Dominion format, I kind of want to keep testing decks that are going to be better with Blazing Dominion, or decks to keep in mind for the transition for that format. I am going to profile some decks involving Blazing Dominion format very soon, so please stay tuned, be patient with me. This has been a very busy month for me so far. Without further ado, let's get straight to the list. It's almost the same list as last week, but there are some key changes. I will explain those changes, I'll explain how my tournament experience went, because I did play at one locals with it, and the theory behind all of it. So, 3 Kewl Tune mix, 2 Reco, 1 Q, 1 Clip. Until Blazing Dominion, this ratio is not going to change. Mix is the most important one for the combos that we're doing with the Elfnote cards. Once Rotary arrives in the TCG, then Reco becomes the most important one, because it means that you're going to be able to bridge into like all the engines a lot easier, while also playing through opponents' interactions better. I don't know if Clip is going to be upped in copies. I know that Q most likely will as well. For elves, we got the 3 Lucina, the 3 Tinia, and the 1 Fortuna, and the 1 Bird. These ratios didn't change. I felt very comfortable with these ratios. There was one situation where I needed another bird, but I was already in a losing position regardless. And yeah, I think these ratios are not going to change. Once Blazing Dominion arrives, I will fiddle around with Regina ratios as well as like Lucina ratios alongside it. But besides that point, I think this is perfectly fine. So for the branded cards, we got the 2 white, the 1 OG Albas, 1 Ecclesia, 1 Cartesia. We're not playing the Dogmatica cards in the this week. The reason for it is, even though the Dogmatica cards help with our sealing and plays against interactions a little bit better, it does lead to more awkward hands. Like, you don't want to draw Dogmatica Ecclesia that much. Fleur de Lis was stuck to my hand the first time I played this deck. I like that variant, and that was 43 cards. So I opted to change the ratios of the non-engine, which we'll see in a moment. This past week, I am going to say something about this guy. This was glued to my hand at least once a match. This card was in my hand at least 5 games this past weekend. I didn't win every game because of it. I did win one game specifically because I opened it. But yeah, it's just unfortunate when it happens, because it is 42 cards. And this is one of the only bricks in the deck. This and Clip. Yeah. So that's it for these ratios. So for the rest of the cards, I just went with a bunch of hand traps. 3 Veilers, 3 Ash, 2 Bell, like 2 Ogres. You guys are already familiar with these 10. These 10 were on my last profile. New additions that we did is we added 2 Ghost Mourners, and I added 2 Nibiru's. So I'll explain Ghost Mourner first. This is another level 3 tuner, and yes, being a level 3 tuner did come up. I actually made Track Maker like 4 times just by summoning a tuner, level 3 tuner. And it felt great every time I did that. Mourner isn't exactly the best. You could have played a 3rd Ogre or a 3rd Bell, but I just wanted the versatility of Mourner. And Mourner did work out for me on the times I did draw it. I only drew Nibiru twice, and they both got pitched by Welcome Home, the Elfnote spell. So tough to say whether this was a good or bad decision. There is another reason in the extra deck for this, but those were my ratios. I'm not gonna make more Charmies in this deck. Like, I just don't want to be in a situation with very high variance, and I'm gonna keep doing that until Blazing Dominion format. So for spells, we got 3 Overtake, we got the 2 Fallen the Virtuous, JJ, Welcome Home, and Rhapsody Madness. Yeah, these were my spells, and I don't regret any single one of them. I didn't miss the Kewl Tune spell, the other one. I didn't miss the Kewl Tune Trap. I didn't miss a third Virtuous. I kind of did miss Nadir Servant, and there could have been a way to play Nadir Servant without the Dogmatica cards, but I kind of just didn't want to be in that very awkward spot with those engines. So yeah, these were my ratios. I actually did like all these ratios. Albaz was drawn alongside this once or twice, but yeah, you're just gonna have to deal with that. So my deck is 42 cards. So for extra deck, Trackmaker, Remix, RS, Loudness War, and Zalin. I did summon Zalin a lot more this time. The card I think I summoned the least was Loudness War, but this still is important because of some specific Elfnote plays. And as far as breaking boards, this card is not that bad either, because one thing you can do is if you opened like the Cartesia, you open Cartesia and Ecclesia, you can try to summon Cartesia and Ecclesia, and then you have 2 level 4 tuners that you can use with either Clip or Mix to make this, and this just starts applying a lot of pressure. But yeah, it kind of worked out. I think the card I summoned them, well, I mean, I definitely summoned Trackmaker the most, way more than last time. Strelitzia, Ecclesia, Omega, Shenzhen, and the new addition in the extra deck was Lulu Lilith. So Lulu is here because of Gragonol, because we do play Blazing Cartesia in this deck. Funnily enough, whenever I played Gragonol last year, a lot of people were playing around Gragonol's effect. This time around, a lot of people did not play around this card, and that just made it so I can summon this card for free. And this makes it awkward for your opponent to extra deck climb without getting rid of it, which means you get guaranteed another turn. And there was one game where I fused into Gragonol on my opponent's turn, Gragonol to send the Albion, and then you banish the Gragonol to summon the Lulu Lilith, and then Lulu Lilith got eliminated, and in the end phase I had Ecclesia, Cartesia, Albion, and Lulu Lilith. And with Lulu Lilith, if you have already Cartesia and Ecclesia, you can summon a Veiler because it is a 0/0 light spellcaster. So I don't regret this choice. I think Lulu is a really fine card in the SO. This did get reprinted in Rarity Collection, so good on that. Although I've heard allegedly the ratios for this card are not super high in Rarity Collection, but if you are looking for, you know, a less pricier version, then there's that. The aforementioned Gragonol, Mirror Jade, Dogma, and Rimbrum. I actually did not get to summon Dogma at all this past weekend. However, I did summon Mirror Jade 3 times. I Mirror Jade, I Albast away K917 Ripper into this. I fused away with an Ithalion for this. I in one instance I was playing against Memento, and my opponent tried to do the Memento Fusion monster. I don't remember. I think I used the Elfnote trap to negate it, and then I used his Memento Fusion monster to make the Mirror Jade. So it was a really good card. So that's it for these. XX. I mean, XX was here. Side deck. We're still on three Pancratops. I just don't want to get jump scared by DeFi. Even though most of my opponents were not on Vanquish or Malice this weekend, or Mitsu. I did face one Mitsu player and I 2-0'd them. Sorry, Joe. I still side the Molcharmies. I just don't feel comfortable main decking them right now. Maybe in the future, once we get like Dominant Spark, Fraudalis, and maybe more turn 0 interactions, like with our engines, with engine cards, then I could find the motivation to just put these cards in. But at the moment, there's just way too much variance for me to put them in. I don't think I've ever regretted not having them in game one, even though I lost half my die rolls. So triple Dark Ruler and triple Eclipse. I'm still playing these cards. I kind of want to talk about these cards right now. I think post Blazing Dominion, these cards are actually not that bad. A lot of people are hyping Doom Z, and this card is really good against Doom Z. The Archmage deck is a little problematic. This card is also not that bad against them, same as this card. Elfnote could be a contender, same as Kewl Tune, pure Kewl Tune, and these cards are really good against both of them. Yeah, you should highly consider testing this card in your deck, because we're getting more and more M-board interactions that just don't play well into this card. Even the more roguish decks like Dark Lord and Exo Sister. And there's not that many Omni Negates running around outside of, like, you know, Radiant Typhoon with their mandates, or the Yummy package with like the Asamina stuff. And the more popular Yummy variant is the Fiendsmith version, which also folds to this card. So yeah, just food for thought. This was my list. I think moving forward, I will keep playing this deck at the ratios that they're at. Maybe I'll fiddle around with Nadir's Servant again. I really like the deck. I think the deck is very solid. There is some skill involved with the plays, because remember, you do have like 3 different locks in this deck. So play patterns are really important. I did make a combo guide in the channel if you want to check that out. And I guess one more thing. So I kind of want to talk about OTS pack real quick. I don't open my OTS packs. I usually just keep them sealed for like a rainy day. But I was seeing people throwing around some of their supers, and if you go to your locals and you see people throwing this card, to the table, the floor, or the garbage can, please pick them up. Like, the Archmage Power Patron is a really good card, and post Blazing Dominion format, I think this card will be played a little bit more. So yeah, do yourself a favor and get yourself a very nice investment. Even if you don't play the Archmage deck, just keep this card. Worst case scenario, you can just trade with people. But yeah, that's it from me. Until next time, keep practicing and keep dueling.